thousands and thousands and thousands of clinical studies, CBD has numerous potential benefits and is essential to supporting our inner balance and our overall health of all of our body systems.
Básicamente el CBD puede impactar significativamente todos los sistemas del cuerpo, proveer un bienestar general y darle soporte a todo el equilibrio interno.
And I think one of the most influential recent papers is the one that was actually put out by the World Health Organization.
Y uno de los estudios más significativos o artículos más significativos fue el que sacó la Organización Mundial de la Salud.
And it was in this paper that the WHO listed and demonstrated both the efficacy and the safety of CBD.
Y básicamente en este artículo como tal, en este estudio que ustedes ven el link ahí a continuación, se demostró la eficacia y la seguridad a nivel del uso del CBD.
Mariel, real quick, just one thing I want to point out. So, and Daniel, you can digest this and share it in your words. But so we're going to talk a lot about CBD, okay? Because CBD in and of itself, all of these compounds are very new in Latin America. But what I want everybody to know, and we'll get into this in a few slides, there is so much more than just CBD. Okay, there are over 100 of these phytocannabinoids, with CBD being one. And what's so powerful is when you have a combination of these different cannabinoids in one product, it creates what is known as the Entourage Effect.
Básicamente, quiero que sepan que hoy nos vamos a enfocar acerca del CBD, que es uno de los tantos cannabinoides existentes, y hay tanto beneficio y hay tanto potencial en todas estas moléculas que quiero que sepan que cuando el CBD interactúa con este sinnúmero de moléculas, genera un efecto que se llama el efecto séquito, que provee una gran cantidad de bienestar y beneficios también a todo el cuerpo.
And that is very important because as you're learning more about hemp-derived compounds, there are a lot of products that are going to be on the market that are called isolates. That means they only have CBD in them and that's it. Our product is not that way. Our product has an entire spectrum of all of these different cannabinoids that occur naturally within the plant. And that's one of a number of reasons why Ultracell is superior to the other products you'll see on the market. Thanks, Mario.
Absolutely, and you are absolutely correct. And we will definitely dive deeper into the concept of the entourage effect because of its importance in products and product efficiency.
Daniel, did you want to just finish that translation real quick?
Sorry.
Quiero que sepan que una de las razones por las cuales la Ultracell es un producto superior a todo lo que hay en el mercado, porque muchas veces todo lo que existe afuera son aislados de CBD, pero teniendo nosotros un producto full espectro con una gran cantidad de componentes adicionales que refuerzan y hacen sinergia con el CBD, eso es lo que causa y produce que nuestro producto sea tan particular y tan efectivo.
Next slide, please. And so that we can better understand how CBD and the other cannabinoids actually work in our body, we first need to talk about what's called the Endocannabinoid System.
Y para entender cómo funciona el CBD en nuestro organismo, quiero que hablemos primero acerca del sistema endocannabinoide.
And by understanding the system is why you will start to understand how powerful the Zelease products are and why they are that powerful.
Y básicamente entendiendo este sistema, ustedes van a entender por qué los productos de Zelease son tan efectivos.
So the question I think I get the most is how does CBD and other cannabinoids, how does CBD interact with the body?
Básicamente una de las preguntas más frecuentes que a mí me hacen es cómo el CBD interactúa con el cuerpo.
And so CBD and most cannabinoids were named because they were found to interact with a network of what are called cannabinoid receptors that were naturally found in the body and the brain of all of us.
Y quiero que sepan que el CBD tiene su nombre porque se encontró que interactuaba con receptores de cannabinoides existentes en el cerebro y en muchos órganos en nuestro cuerpo.
And the reason that most people think that the endocannabinoid system is the primary system in the body is because these cannabinoid receptors are found throughout the body. You can even find them in skin, immune cells, fat tissue, liver, the kidneys, everywhere.
Y por el hecho de que se cree de que el sistema endocannabinoide es uno de los sistemas más importantes en todo nuestro cuerpo, es porque existen receptores para endocannabinoides en todos los órganos, prácticamente en la piel, en las células inmunes, en el hueso, en el tejido graso, en el hígado, en el páncreas, en el músculo esquelético, en el corazón, los vasos sanguíneos, riñones y también en el tracto gastrointestinal.
Next slide, please. And so in order to really see how the cannabinoids are going to interact with our body and how they work with the endocannabinoid system, what we find to be the most important parts of the endocannabinoid system are the receptors.
Y una de las cosas para entender cómo interactúa en sí la molécula con todos los órganos de nuestro cuerpo, lo que hay que entender primero es que los receptores juegan un rol muy importante.
And having a product that is available to work with these receptors is huge.
Y teniendo un producto que definitivamente se pega a estos receptores es algo espectacular.
Now, what I find funny sometimes, but is because this education part is so important, is a lot of physicians out there won't know what the endocannabinoid system is.
Y una de las cosas curiosas e irónicas es que muchos médicos al día de hoy no tienen idea de lo que es el sistema endocannabinoide.
But once you start to explain it and they go research it, they will understand that the reason that they haven't heard of it is if they were in medical school earlier, because these receptors weren't discovered until 1988.
Y quiero que sepan que cuando uno le explica esto a algún doctor y el doctor pues no entiende, simple y sencillamente él se va, investiga y se da cuenta de que en su educación en la universidad esto a él no se lo enseñaron porque estos receptores fueron prácticamente hallados en 1988.
And the two most abundant cannabinoid receptors are CB1 and CB2, where CB1 is mainly found in the central nervous system, which is your brain and your spinal cord, and CB2 is mostly found in the peripheral nervous system and your immune system.
Los receptores más importantes son el CB1 y CB2. Los CB1 se encuentran en el sistema nervioso central, en el cerebro y en la médula espinal, y los receptores CB2 se encuentran en el sistema nervioso periférico y en el sistema inmune.
So the discovery of CB1 and CB2 not only rocked the whole concept of where what different systems were and how they interacted with each other, but it also helped scientists uncover new, naturally occurring neurotransmitters.
Y básicamente el descubrimiento de estos receptores también afloró el descubrimiento de neurotransmisores que el cuerpo produce endógenamente.
And the reason we care so much about these natural neurotransmitters and these receptors is because of what really harnessing the ability of this system will allow you to do.
Y una de las cosas por las cuales hacemos tanto énfasis en estos neurotransmisores es por el alcance que pueden tener a nivel de beneficios terapéuticos en el cuerpo.
Next slide, please. So what I want to point out here is the different, where the different network of receptors lie and how many different systems are connected within this network of receptors.
Y quiero hacer énfasis en la red de receptores, en todos los lugares donde se encuentran y cuán importante es cada ubicación en donde ellos están.
And everyone has a unique endocannabinoid system, almost like a thumbprint.
Cada uno de nosotros tiene un sistema endocannabinoide distinto. Es tan distinto como nuestra huella digital.
And so depending on which of your systems is out of balance is where the product, our product, is really going to be able to support you the best.
Y básicamente en algunas partes de tu sistema tendrás algunos desbalances y ahí es donde entrará en acción nuestro producto a balancear y proveer equilibrio para que tú estés bien equilibrado.
Next slide, please. And so to reiterate what Stephen was talking about, the entourage effect and the importance of the entourage effect, I wanted to kind of visually demonstrate it with this image on the right.
Básicamente, lo que Steven comentó anteriormente respecto al efecto séquito, lo quiero compartir con esta filmina.
So the product that you choose matters.
El producto que tú decidas consumir importa.
You want a product that has the most cannabinoids you can get. You want a product that has as many of the original compounds found in the plant as possible.
Y tú quieres un producto que tenga la mayor cantidad de cannabinoides y la mayor cantidad de compuestos provenientes de la planta como sea posible.
And the reason for this is because the research being done on the Entourage Effect actually showed that what the scientists thought were inert compounds began to work and affect receptors around them when they were in combination with other compounds. So alone, they were not as useful as when combined with other compounds.
Una de las cosas que han encontrado todos los estudios científicos es que los compuestos por sí solos, cuando son aislados, no tienen el efecto tan esperado como cuando están juntos en un espectro amplio.
And so really the idea here is that what you're seeing is a synergistic effect from the hemp product when it is allowed to stay in its more natural and larger spectrum form.
Básicamente cuando hay una gran cantidad de compuestos y se da un espectro completo, hay definitivamente un mejor efecto terapéutico.
And so before we start really breaking down our products, I wanted to see if Stephen or Gabe, if you had anything else you guys wanted to add before we start breaking down Ultracell technology and the bioavailability and things like that.
I'd be happy to chime in. I think it's very, very important, muy importante, that we understand the uniqueness of the Entourage Effect and how it truly distinguishes cannabis and products that are made from cannabis-derived compounds from what we currently know in the health and medical world of pharmaceuticals and nutritional supplements.
Creo que es muy importante en ver la distinción de lo que representa nuestro producto versus algunos compuestos que se vienen sacando de la planta los compuestos de la marihuana y otros productos que sean aislados, acerca de cómo se beneficia nuestro producto con estos compuestos naturales de la planta.
Because in both sides, we tend to focus on one compound. And in most new markets, we're going to see the heavy focus on CBD. But if we don't understand the source of the CBD ingredient, whether it be an extract or, as Stephen mentioned, an isolate where you have one compound, if we don't understand that and we don't inquire about that, then we fail to appreciate and understand and benefit from this entourage effect, which is the most important, once again, element of the products that we make and the benefits we receive from those products.
Porque tenemos que entender ambas partes, ya que en estos nuevos mercados, estos nuevos mercados emergentes que están saliendo, si no entendemos cuál es la fuente del CBD y la diferencia que hay entre los compuestos que están simplemente extraídos o aislados, no vamos a poder entender cuál es el mercado y en qué nos estamos preguntando, ni tampoco nos están preguntando. Y estaríamos fracasando en poder apreciar y valorar los beneficios de lo que esto representa, y especialmente cuando estamos hablando del efecto séquito, que es lo que mayormente ahorita le estamos dando énfasis.
And to use, just the last point, to use somewhat of a silly analogy, it's in new markets where these products are new, this idea of a CBD product is almost the same as if somebody were introducing you to a car for the first time. And on one side, you have a company that's basically assembling a car by hand with the most primitive and basic products, whereas Zaliste is designing a Tesla. And so as you get more educated on the complexity of the design of the products, just like the car, you start to appreciate just how complex, innovative, and well-designed the products are. And again, it's directly proportional to the benefits you receive, much like the way that you look at a car as being faster, more better constructed, more technologically advanced, safer, right? That's what we're doing. But you have to educate yourself. And so these things are very, very important to understand.
Y, por ejemplo, es como si hiciéramos la siguiente analogía. Ahora que estamos entrando en nuevos mercados, nuevas canales, es como tener la idea de que estamos introduciendo al CBD como una situación de primera vez. Es como catalogarlo por un lado, por ejemplo, como si estuviésemos en una compañía ensamblando un vehículo a mano, y por otro lado, el comparar a Silis como si fuese un vehículo como la marca Tesla. Entonces necesitamos educarnos más, ver cómo es que se diseña este vehículo para poder apreciar la complejidad y la parte innovativa de esto. Entonces, esto tiene una relación directamente proporcional a tener un vehículo, en nuestro caso, que es mucho más veloz, tiene más habilidad, más complejidad, y simplemente se trata de una situación en la cual hay que educarnos más, a nosotros y a la gente.
Let me jump in on this real quick. And Danny, if you'll translate this for me, just from someone who's been in network marketing now for over a decade. And guys, at the end of the day, you're going to see a lot of different products hit the marketplace the more the industry advances throughout LATAM. But what Gabe is sharing, this is what's going to build a long-term residual income for you and your family that will weather the test of time, because the industry is going to go through changes, right? In the very beginning, it's super early. Then you're going to see more brands come on, and then down the road, it'll be like it is in the U.S. A lot more will come. The reason that Zalis is so powerful, it's not just the new people that are using our product for the first time each day. It's the thousands upon tens of thousands that have been using this product religiously and loyally for years. And it's what Gabe is sharing with you, all of these components that make that possible. So I think that's an important detail for our ambassadors to understand for their business.
Básicamente lo que quiero hacer énfasis y quiero que tengan en cuenta es que realmente en toda esta industria del network marketing ustedes se van a experimentar con una gran cantidad de marcas y compañías que eventualmente lleguen a sus países. Nosotros estamos siendo pioneros y realmente lo que está enfatizando Gabe es uno de los puntos más importantes. Cuando tienes un producto premium, un producto de calidad y un producto que realmente está hecho con lo mejor de lo mejor que se le puede ofrecer a nivel de propuesta de valor a un cliente o a un consumidor, realmente no importa solo también los consumidores nuevos que empiecen a estar expuestos al producto, sino también la gran cantidad de gente, como pasa aquí en Estados Unidos, que han estado expuestos al producto, que están felices consumiéndolo, y son cientos de miles de personas que realmente consumen el producto de forma regular, de forma recurrente, y eso es lo que realmente va a lograr que tú tengas en el largo plazo un muy, muy buen beneficio económico.
And in addition to that, I just want to, because we're spending so much time on the Entourage Effect, and for good reason, when we're formulating products, we keep the Entourage Effect top of mind, because what we want to make sure we do is we want to make sure we harness the power of the entire plant.
Y una de las cosas respecto a todo lo que estamos hablando acerca del efecto séquito es que cuando nosotros estamos formulando el producto, nosotros tenemos on top of mind, en el tope de nuestra mente, siempre como prioridad más alta, el efecto séquito, porque realmente es importante que el beneficio de toda la planta y todos los compuestos siempre esté presente causando sinergia.
And in addition to the Entourage Effect, what we're really paying attention to is technology and bioavailability of our products.
Y también una de las cosas, además del efecto séquito, en los cuales nosotros ponemos mucho énfasis es en la tecnología y también en la biodisponibilidad de nuestro producto.
Next slide, please. And so on that note, what we would like to start to do is really take a deeper dive, a deeper look at Ultracell, the Ultracell technology, and the absorption study that we have conducted on Ultracell products.
Y de lo que quiero que hablemos es acerca del Ultracell, de la tecnología Ultracell y del estudio de biodisponibilidad que hemos conducido para nuestro producto.
Sorry, I lost it there for a second. So when we're discussing the Ultracell technology, the easiest thing to start with is the concept that oil and water don't mix. Anyone who has tried to make their own salad dressing realizes that oil and water don't mix.
Básicamente hablando de la tecnología.
Great one, Mariel. I've never heard that before. That's good.
Básicamente hablando de la tecnología Ultracell para todos los que cocinan, está claro de que el agua y el aceite no se mezclan. Les ha pasado los que hacen el dressing de la ensalada, el aderezo de la ensalada, uno lo ve prácticamente cuando cocina. El agua y el aceite no se mezclan.
Sorry, Danny. And for those of you asking why we're talking about salad dressing, what I want to make sure people understand is the fact that it is oil or the fact that it is water matters, and it matters to your body.
Y definitivamente una de las cosas por las cuales hablo de aderezo de ensalada es para que ustedes entiendan de que si hablo de agua y hablo de aceite, eso para tu cuerpo es importante.
And the entire idea, the whole concept of the technology is to make sure that we were able to optimize the absorption of our products and therefore allow the ingredients to be utilized in our body.
Y definitivamente todo el sentido de esta tecnología es optimizar la absorción del producto para permitir que los ingredientes sean usados de forma óptima en el cuerpo.
And so in order to even benefit from products, either topically applied or other ways, your body needs to be able to absorb it and your body needs to be able to use it.
Definitivamente un producto que se consuma de forma tópica o de alguna u otra manera, el cuerpo necesita absorberlo y también el cuerpo necesita poder utilizarlo.
Because if a product is not bioavailable, it does not matter how much you take, it won't work.
Si un producto no es biodisponible, o sea, no se puede absorber, no importa cuánto consumas o cuánto pues consumas del producto, simple y sencillamente no llegarán los ingredientes a donde tienen que llegar.
And so because we have this technology, we also wanted to make sure we had a study to back up that technology.
Y con esta tecnología nosotros también nos aseguramos de estar seguros de tener un buen estudio que pues comprobara que todo esto es súper efectivo.
Next slide. And so what we are showing here in this image is a study that was conducted in the U.S. At the Mayo Clinic.
Y lo que mostramos en esta filmina es un estudio que se hizo en Estados Unidos en la clínica Mayo.
And although this was done on the U.S. products, these products have the same technology that all of our Ultracell products have.
Y básicamente, no solo, o sea, esta tecnología está en todos los productos Ultracell que nosotros tenemos.
And so what you can see from the image is that there is an incredibly high level of absorption, so up to 94% absorption levels, but it's also fast acting. And you see that huge climb within the first hour.
Y una de las cosas importantes es que, bueno, la absorción es de un 94%, esos son los resultados que arrojó el estudio, pero adicionalmente la efectividad del producto y la rapidez con la que empieza a actuar en el cuerpo se da en menos de una hora.
And if for some reason you are able to get people to try it in front of you, they're gonna feel it. So we create products that have results that people feel, and because they can feel the results and we know we are making a bioavailable product that is working, it's by far the best value on the market.
Y definitivamente ustedes van a poder experimentarlo con sus prospectos, con la gente que tengan. La gente va a poder sentir el beneficio de forma súper óptima, súper rápida dentro de las primeras horas. Y por eso les digo que realmente tenemos uno de los mejores productos existentes actualmente en el mercado.
And so Gabe and Stephen, is there anything you guys want to weigh in on about the technology or the study or the importance of bioavailability?
Yeah. I think it's, this again speaks to just how advanced the products are and why they're differentiated from a lot of the other products.
Creo que esto definitivamente habla por sí mismo acerca de lo cuán avanzados están nuestros productos y una diferenciación comparado con otros productos.
And it comes down to the thought and the thoughtfulness that's put into the products. There's consideration not just for you all to be successful, but for the product to be accessible and to make sure that when people take the product, they experience a benefit which will assure that those people will come back to purchase more product and use more product.
Y simplemente con la idea, el pensar de no solamente considerar el tema del producto, sino también el garantizar todo el éxito de ustedes, no solamente cuando se adquiere el producto, sino también cuando las personas tomen el producto y estas personas también puedan recomendar y por experimentar la efectividad.
And so being aware of the challenges of oils and fat-soluble ingredients, moving towards a water-dispersible, water-soluble format is a no-brainer for making sure that we achieve those goals.
Y tomando en cuenta ese tema de los retos acerca de el comportamiento de los aceites y la solubilidad de los ingredientes, el hecho de tener un producto que sea dispersable en el agua es una situación completamente de un ganar-ganar.
And then finally, not just saying that the products are better, but then going and providing the data and clinical research behind just how good those products are.
Y finalmente, no solamente el tema de decir qué tan buenos son los productos, sino también proporcionar a las personas los datos y la base consistente para que puedan realmente beneficiarse las personas y recomendarlos con propiedad.
Excellent. Thank you. Next slide.
Let me just real quick jump in.
Sorry, Stephen.
Very well said. For all of you on the line that are ambassadors, what this all comes down to is results.
Y básicamente, respecto a todo lo que ellos han conversado, esto todo se traduce en resultados.
Because at the end of the day, what your customers are going to continue to believe in, guys, is going to be the results they feel. If they use the product and they don't feel it, they're not going to continue to buy. They may buy one time. But when you have individuals that will literally report life-changing results that fast, watch out. And Daniel, you can even comment, on some of the results you've seen if you want to.
Básicamente, una de las cosas que permite que la gente siga consumiendo el producto son los resultados que evidencian y los resultados que experimentan. Nosotros hemos tenido realmente una experiencia súper linda, súper positiva. Hemos experimentado gente con procesos de insomnio, refiriendo de que duermen muchísimo mejor. Yo personalmente tengo amigos, desde mi fisioterapeuta, su esposo, que se levantaban con dolores en articulaciones todas las mañanas. Hoy en día ellos pues reflejan una mejoría significativa. Los dolores han disminuido muchísimo y prácticamente grandes amigos míos que hacen mucho ejercicio también sienten una mejor recuperación, una disminución de los dolores y demás, porque juegan también deportes de alto rendimiento y de verdad que el producto es espectacularmente efectivo. So great, Stephen. I was just telling them that I have a lot of testimonials from people that were not able to sleep well, and they are referring that they have been sleeping without going awake several times through the night.
Right.
Also, people that just woke up with pain in their joints and everything, they are feeling much better. And I have friends that are like sports, football players, professionals, and they are like recovering super fast, and they are using both products and they are super happy.
Yep, that's awesome. All right, thanks, Maria.
Absolutely. So because we have this technology and because we formulate with the Entourage Effect in mind, let's start exploring our next slide, which is our Ultracell Hemp CBD Natural Lotion.
Y bueno, ahorita ya que hemos hablado del efecto séquito, quiero que hablemos acerca de uno de nuestros productos estrella, nuestra loción natural de cáñamo, de CBD.
And so this is a revolutionary product, and we wanted to make sure we were providing the phytocannabinoids, the terpenes, and all the other compounds that allow us to really embrace the power of this product.
Y para mí esto es un producto revolucionario porque prácticamente no solo proporcionamos la molécula tan importante del CBD, sino también terpenos y otros compuestos que hacen sinergia y hacen que el producto sea súper efectivo.
And if you haven't noticed yet, the fact that it's bioavailable is what is so important.
Y de verdad, el efecto de que tenga una absorción tan alta es lo que es sumamente importante.
So it was designed Ultracell was designed in order to be water soluble so that you could have enhanced absorption. And the more bioavailable, the more effective a product can be.
Definitivamente el Ultracell fue diseñado para ser soluble en agua y para que tú tengas una mayor absorción. Y en la medida en que un producto tenga una absorción elevada, definitivamente más efectivo será en el cuerpo.
And as Dr. Danny had mentioned, he has a lot of different clients or customers who are benefiting in a lot of different ways.
Y básicamente, como Dani ha mencionado, él conoce personas que se han beneficiado de maneras muy diferentes y muy significativas.
And as I've said before, because the endocannabinoid system is unique to every person, everyone's going to have a different story.
Y básicamente quiero que sepan que como el sistema endocannabinoide es como la huella digital, es diferente en cada cuerpo, cada persona va a referir un beneficio o una historia diferente.
So in addition to the natural lotion, on the next slide, we can talk about the Ultracell Hemp CBD Cosmetic Gel.
Y básicamente en adición a la loción natural de CBD Ultracell, tenemos también el gel cosmético de cáñamo de CBD.
And so it's the synergistic effects from hemp combined with Ultracell technology and the essential oils and natural ingredients in this product that make the difference.
Y básicamente lo que hace la diferencia en este producto son el efecto sinérgico del CBD proveniente del cáñamo y también algunos aceites esenciales y la tecnología Ultracell en todo el producto.
So if you'll go to the next slide. And because we're running short on time, will you skip down to one more? I wanted to point out that some of the main ingredients in the cosmetic gel work synergistically with the cannabinoids to make the differences. And so pointing this out to people who understand the power of hemp and the power of essential oils is really what differentiates our cosmetic gel from others.
Y de verdad que lo que diferencia nuestro gel cosmético de otros es obviamente el efecto y la tecnología Ultracell y la molécula del CBD en conjunto y en sinergia con estos aceites esenciales.
Next slide, please. And Stephen, I'm going to throw this back to you if you're there, because I know how much the quality of our products mean to you and mean to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, for our ambassadors, it goes back to longevity. It goes back to having a brand that that people trust, because you don't want to build this business and go out here and get a lot of volume for a short period of time, you know, and then when you stop working, the volume goes away. You want to build something over a 3 to 5 year period that's going to remain for 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road. And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the integrity, you know, of the company, the products, the quality, the science. And so we have gone, Daniel, I would argue that we are the most advanced company as it relates to science, technology, research, quality, transparency, the whole thing. And you can translate that. Then Gabe, I want you to comment on this, because this has really been something for you that's been somewhat of your major focus?
Básicamente una de las cosas más importantes es el hecho de que ustedes entiendan de que nosotros podemos decir que somos una de las compañías más avanzadas a nivel de tecnología, a nivel de propuesta de valor y a nivel de la calidad, la integridad y la transparencia en los procesos, en cómo realizamos nuestros productos. Y esto es sumamente importante porque es un pilar fundamental para uno poder construir un negocio de 3 a 5 años y tener volúmenes importantes que persistan a lo largo del tiempo. Cuando tienes un producto bueno, que realmente funciona, que está hecho con las mejores prácticas y que tiene los mejores ingredientes, realmente tienes una fórmula súper ganadora.
Yeah, so I think, the way that I look at it is when you're partnered with Zalise, you're partnered with wisdom, and that wisdom extends across all aspects of not just the hemp industry, but the supplement industry, the cosmetic industry, and all of these different things that we've discussed are of equal importance to get right.
Quiero que se fijen en esto, en esta parte de lo que hablamos de Silis, acerca de la sabiduría que se extiende no solamente más allá de la industria del cáñamo, sino todo lo que hemos venido hablando acerca de los cosméticos y los diferentes aspectos que incluimos.
And the steps that we're taking are intended to prepare for a massive future that we all have, as well as, is set for the industry itself around these particular products.
Y los pasos que estamos tomando tienen la intención de tener una buena base para un crecimiento masivo que se va a dar en los próximos años y fijar la pauta en lo que representa esta industria.
And while there's a need to be flexible and deal with some of the complexities of the industry, the more we get right now, the better it is for everyone going forward, because we are building the industry rather than chasing it.
Y la necesidad de ser un poco flexibles nos trae para poder lidiar a la vez también con la complejidad de lo que representa la industria. No solamente estar de una manera correcta del inicio, sino construir con una base sólida para lo que va a venir.
And there's no one else remotely close to doing what we're doing.
Y no hay simplemente quiero que sepan que no hay nadie más que se nos acerque a nosotros en calidad de lo que estamos haciendo.
We are the world leader in quality, innovation, and transparency. It's also why we share the certificates of analysis that we receive from the lab for every batch.
Y básicamente una de las cosas importantes para nosotros son los certificados de análisis que recibimos de cada lote de producto que ponemos disponible para todos ustedes.
And Dr. Danny or Morris, I don't actually have the website where those are located. So if someone can put that in the chat so people can see, importantly, what's in our products, but most importantly, what's not, and how many pesticides we test for to show that there's no pesticides, that we test for heavy metal levels. What we want to make sure we are always doing is creating effective, but also quality and safe products.
Básicamente, Morris, si pudieras poner el link para que la gente pueda revisar nuestro certificado de análisis y darse cuenta la cantidad de plaguicidas, pesticidas, los cuales nosotros testeamos para que la gente se dé cuenta de todo lo que no tiene nuestro producto a diferencia de otros productos que hay en el mercado. Y esa es una información súper valiosa que también se encuentra en el código QR en cada botella o en cada caja de producto.
Marielle, I want to jump in. I want to take a look at, because we are getting short on time, I do want to take a look at some of the questions that are coming in. One of the main questions that I'm seeing here is surrounding the dose and the dosage. So, Daniel, this has been an evolving or moving target for us here in the United States. Most CBD oils would tell you to take, 1 ml per day or whatever, the 30 ml bottle. What we have found, though, because of the impact of the absorption of the Ultracell technology, we give an official serving size of half an ml. Okay, so in a 15 ml bottle, there's 30 servings. That's the official. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to have some people that are literally going to use droplets daily, 2, 3, 4, 5 droplets, because their system, the ECS, your ECS, Mario, you said one time, it's like your fingerprint. It's the only one in the world. And so we basically will just tell, our ambassadors and their customers to play with it. Sometimes when you lower the dose, you increase the results. Now that sounds counterintuitive if you're a sales organization, right? Because you want people to use tons and tons of product. But the reality is we're not just here for a one-time sale. We want people to be on the product for years and years and years down the road. So that is one thing, Daniel, that's going to be different, especially for folks that were in Zuri, where it was a designated, take this amount of the shot daily of the Amalaki. It really is going to be personal. But 0.5 ml is the official serving size, and then you can take it up, take it down, give it a week or so, see how your body responds, and go from there.
Buenísimo. Thank you, Steven. Awesome response. Básicamente, a nivel de la experiencia que nosotros hemos tenido en los Estados Unidos, hemos visto muchas cosas. Yo les podría decir que por experiencia, la dosis normal, la dosis conservadora que toda persona puede empezar teniendo es una dosis de medio gotero. Y hemos encontrado momentos en donde hay gente que utiliza inclusive menos de medio gotero y tiene definitivamente un efecto inclusive aún mayor. Quiero que sepan que el sistema endocannabinoide de cada uno es diferente, pero de forma conservadora se podría decir que cada persona use medio gotero. Y si necesitan subirla o inclusive bajarla un poco, cada quien lo va valorando a lo largo de las semanas o a lo largo del tiempo. Nos interesa que cada quien encuentre la dosis adecuada, pero iniciar con medio gotero es una forma conservadora de hacerlo y una forma de experimentar el beneficio del producto. Una botella de 15 ml puede alcanzar para 30 servidas.
Excellent. Mariel, anything in the chat, or Morris, if there's anything in Espanol, or Daniel?
Someone just asked if CBD has any contraindications. And honestly, we have not found any. There has not been any called out in the research. We always suggest people talk to medical professionals if they have questions about specific diseases that they may have. But at this point, we have not seen any contraindications.
Quiero que sepan que nosotros hasta este punto no hemos encontrado ningún tipo de contraindicación. Cualquier persona que tenga alguna condición particular puede referirse a su médico tratante y puede hacer las consultas pertinentes del caso, pero hasta este punto nosotros no hemos encontrado, tenemos experiencia de haber experimentado contraindicaciones con el producto.
Let me comment real quick. So Daniel, as you very well know, with a leader with, again, well over a decade, well, you probably have, you're coming up on, how many years have you been in the industry?
More than 10 years.
Yeah, you're too young to have 2 decades, but okay. But you've been around 10 years, so you know that we cannot make medical claims, okay? Typically in network marketing, that leaves you, kind of with your hands bound because you can't really say anything. Here's the beauty of this industry. When it comes to CBD and hemp-derived constituents, there's research everywhere. So all you have to do is Google CBD and the health benefit you want or your customer or ambassador wants, and you're going to find a treasure trove of independent research so that we don't have to promote that. That's been one of the greatest things, Daniel, that we experienced, is someone could leave our meeting and go online and they could Google it, and we didn't have to make the medical claim. It's on Google. So just want to point that out.
Básicamente quiero que tengan en mente y tengan presente de que este producto no está diseñado para curar o tratar enfermedades como tal, ¿ok? Y prácticamente en la industria o en el mundo del network marketing, uno no puede hacer aseveraciones de que este producto cura por sí solo una enfermedad. Y una de las bondades o beneficios o regalos del mundo que tenemos es la tecnología, y una de las experiencias que hemos visto es que hay una gran cantidad de estudios independientes y de testimonios allá afuera en donde nosotros no tenemos que decir específicamente los beneficios, porque si una persona tiene algún padecimiento, solo basta con que busque en Google CBD y el padecimiento en particular y encuentre una gran cantidad de beneficios, encuentre una gran cantidad de experiencias positivas respecto al CBD. Entonces, eso ha también permitido que mucha gente se dé la oportunidad de probar el producto.
Excelente. A tincture. Basically, a tincture is a bottle with a dropper. It's just another way of saying dropper bottle.
Una tintura es una botella con un gotero, prácticamente.
Ariel, how long, when are people going to experience results? I mean, because, and this is a moving target as well, right? You're going to have some people that literally the first day will call you and be like, oh my God, this thing has changed my life. I slept for the first time in 10 years. But you have to get, some people are going to have to give it 90 days. I mean, you just, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of people, I'd say the majority feel it within 14 days. That's why we have the mini 7 ml bottles, a 14-day supply. But can you just touch on that medically when it comes, and this, I think, Daniel, this is probably true for any dietary supplement. But I think, Marielle, is it true that the longer someone's on the product, the more results they're going to open up?
So I think what's interesting is that the longer you're on the product, the more balance your body gets to achieve. But there are going to be some people who feel effects immediately, especially with the cosmetic gel, which is almost immediate. And I've had some pretty non-believers in my family who then tried the cosmetic gel, and they are all about it now, especially for my mom's hip and my dad's knee.
Right, and to point out, Mary, your dad is a medical doctor, so sometimes medical doctors can be the hardest to convince, right?
Well, he now uses that cosmetic gel daily. So
let's pause
that
and,
one, I think, if someone's questioning whether or not they're going to feel it, that cosmetic gel is immediate. For the real benefits, for some of the ones that Dr. Danny's talking about in the stories about sleep and the stories about joints and things like that, I do think on average it's about 2 to 3 weeks. Some people are going to feel it in 3 days, though, because it just depends on your endocannabinoid system and your body's ability to balance itself.
Right. Let's pause there, Daniel. That's an earful.
Básicamente respecto a los beneficios y en cuánto tiempo la gente siente mejorías con el producto, la doctora Mariel cuenta de que definitivamente ella ha tenido una linda experiencia con sus papás, con su papá y su mamá. Su papá es médico, era un poco escéptico y uno de los productos estrella de la doctora Mariel es el gel tópico, porque realmente ellos han tenido una experiencia súper positiva, tanto así que los efectos con el gel tópico a veces son súper inmediatos. En el instante la gente siente, cuando se unta la crema del gel tópico, la gente siente un beneficio increíble y prácticamente uno, entre más se esté expuesto al producto, mayor cantidad de beneficio y balance va a encontrar en su sistema endocannabinoide. En promedio, la doctora Mariel dice que aproximadamente unas 2-3 semanas le toma al cuerpo tener un beneficio o experimentar una sensación de bienestar importante. Sin embargo, hay personas que en cuestión de 3 días refieren que han tenido mejorías significativas.
Awesome. All right, we have another meeting to get to here shortly, Danny, but let's take a look at those listener questions and see, is there a top 2 or 3?
Tenemos otra reunión, pero vamos a ver si hay una pregunta importante. Basically, Dr. Mariel, there's someone that is asking if, knowing that CBD doesn't have the psychoactive effect of the THC, you recommend to use it through timelines or continuously?
I don't know if I understand that question. Are you asking like AM, PM, or what do you mean by timeline?
Basically, use it for a month and then stop, and then start again in another month or something like that. That's what
So I have seen no issues at this point or research on the continuous use of cannabinoids or CBD, and it's because it's closer to an adaptogen where, and I know you'll explain this better than I will, especially in Spanish, but the idea that your body it'll react to your system. So it will not overuse the receptors, it will not underuse the receptors, and so I don't think that you need to worry about using it on a daily schedule. If for some reason, then that's basically all I've seen so far. There are some people who might choose to come off it for a couple days and come back on, but I honestly don't think that's necessary unless your body is telling you to do so.
Básicamente, hay una pregunta en donde alguien pregunta que si el producto, debido a que no tiene THC, sería bueno usarlo y después parar o tener algún uso intermitente, pero definitivamente la doctora Mariel dice que no hay estudios y la recomendación que ella da es que el producto es como un adaptógeno y siempre está balanceando el cuerpo. Entonces, en la medida en que el producto se puede usar de forma continua, el beneficio para el cuerpo también va a ser súper continuo. Y obviamente, pues ayuda muchísimo porque normalmente el cuerpo siempre se está desbalanceando y todo, y el producto pues trata de tener el cuerpo súper balanceado. Great, let me see if there's another one.
Hey, Gabe, you can drop off, bro. I know you have another call. Thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah, so let's touch on Canada. Canada is, the marijuana lobby in Canada is very strong, okay? Most of the largest publicly traded marijuana companies are in Canada. And so at this time, as ridiculous as it sounds, and it is ridiculous, but hemp-derived CBD products are not legal in Canada yet.
Bueno, hablemos de Canadá. Quiero que sepan que una gran cantidad de lobby con respecto a compañías de cannabis se está haciendo en Canadá. En este momento no tenemos posibilidad de tener el producto disponible en Canadá por ahora, CBD, el CBD como tal.
Now, so there's good and bad to this, right? And you're going to find, guys, that CBD is different than anything you've ever done. It's not anywhere near, Ayurveda and Amalaki, that's child's play compared to this stuff. But that's also what creates this massive opportunity because of timing.
Ustedes se van a encontrar que el CBD es de verdad que un negocio completamente distinto a todo lo que ustedes ya conocen, pero el posicionamiento y el tiempo en el que estamos tan inicial es lo importante.
So here's the deal. So we cannot, just one moment, Mariel, we cannot go into Canada yet, but here's the thing, nobody else can either. So, but the bottom line at the end of the day, guys, what you want to do is you want to build your business so large in the countries that we're in, so that the moment we open the door to Canada, the moment we open the door to Brazil, the moment we open the door to Argentina, Uruguay, whatever, okay? Your downline, you want hundreds or thousands of people standing at the border the day the door opens.
Básicamente quiero que entiendan de que el hecho de que ustedes formen parte de esto en este momento es significativo porque ustedes están preparando para una expansión inminente. Definitivamente cuando Canadá esté disponible, una de las cosas que les digo es que, o sea, así como todavía no podemos estar en Canadá, ninguna compañía puede estar en Canadá. Entonces, cuando Canadá esté disponible, cuando Brasil, cuando Uruguay, cuando Argentina esté disponible, prácticamente usted va a estar más que listo y con la experiencia que se necesita para recibir a todos esos consumidores y clientes que van a querer utilizar nuestros productos.
Okay, so we have time for one more question for Marielle, and she has another meeting she has to jump to.
Básicamente hay una última pregunta para Mariel.
Do you want to, Marielle, do you want to pick, or is there something else you want to put?
The ones in Spanish, I'm ashamed to say I can't understand, so I don't know what I'm missing. So if there's something in there you want to ask, you can do that.
Let me see if I find someone. I find something valuable. Julio, if you want to check it out just to see.
I do see one thing that says the gel on the face is absolutely phenomenal, and you are absolutely correct. Please make sure you guys do not get the cosmetic gel in your eyes or inside your nose.
Básicamente, el gel cosmético están diciendo que es espectacular utilizarlo en la cara. Quiero decirles que nada más, por favor, no lo utilicen dentro de los ojos o dentro de la nariz, el gel cosmético. Basically, Mariel, moms that are giving breast milk, is it the CBD safe to use when moms are giving breast milk?
So that's a very interesting and difficult question to answer. The reason I'm saying that is because it depends on how you're taking the product. Where in the US, where our products are all ingested, we do suggest that if you are pregnant or are breastfeeding, that you don't take the products during those times. Because there isn't enough information out there, and we don't want to put anyone's safety in jeopardy.
Okay. Básicamente en mamás que están dando de mamar o están dando de mamar, básicamente nosotros le decimos a la gente que todavía no hay estudios concluyentes de que si el CBD tiene un efecto positivo o no, tanto en el bebé. Entonces, nosotros nos abstenemos de decirle a la gente que consuma CBD cuando están dando de mamar. Entonces,
Mariel, thank you so much for being here today. I know we'll be doing more of these, and we'll keep diving deeper, guys. I mean, a lot of times you just have to hear this multiple times. So, Mariel, thanks again. Go ahead and sign off, and we'll talk to you here a little later.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Dr. Danny, for doing the translation.
Thank you, Mariel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, Danny, I got time for about 2 more. So anything else you want me to cover, to revisit, to highlight, whatever it may be?
Let me see if there's another question.
I got to get on a plane to come join you at your neighborhood club where you are right now, man.
Right, you have to. Definitely.
That's it.
Well, basically, Stephen, I think with the questions we're all set, and just happy to have you here. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, the raw product is phenomenal for your animals. That's been one of our most successful markets in the U.S. has been with pets.
Básicamente quiero decirles que definitivamente el producto raw ha tenido una acogida impresionante aquí en Estados Unidos con mascotas. Entonces, de verdad que el uso del CBD en mascotas también es súper importante.
You're going to have to just play with your dose. Some of you might need a little bit more than 0.5 ml daily. Some of you will need a lot less. And it will also depend on your age. If a young child's taking it versus a teenager versus an adult, someone's height, weight, things like that will all contribute.
Y bueno, respecto a la dosis y las cosas que ustedes preguntan, ustedes van a tener que jugar con la dosis porque básicamente depende si tú eres un niño, eres un adolescente o eres un adulto, si tienes sobrepeso, si eres un poco ligero en peso, pero cada quien empieza con medio gotero, y de ahí va calculando la dosis óptima.
The thing that you're just going to have to learn when it comes to the power of the technology, it's so effective that it is, it's just something you just have to learn as far as you need so much less of Ultracell than you would any other product on the market, period. So that's just something you'll get accustomed to.
Básicamente una de las cosas en las que te vas a acostumbrar es que lo que consumas del producto es suficiente, ¿verdad? Medio gotero, un poquito más, un poquito menos, porque el producto definitivamente es súper, tiene una biodisponibilidad muy alta.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think we probably have absorbed the maximum today, and we'll come back and do this multiple times because as a leader in the field, it'll take time to learn, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. As you're absorbing and just beginning to kind of put your mind around this new science, especially if you're not a science type person. But this has been very beneficial, and we're grateful for everyone's time and energy here today. So, muchas gracias todos.
Bueno, y vamos a seguir con estas informaciones súper importantes para que todos ustedes vayan afinando conocimientos y obviamente enriqueciendo todos sus conceptos. Y bueno, muchas gracias a todos por el tiempo y por haber estado conectados en este Lunch and Learn.
Let's get a good picture, Diego, if you can. Send it to me. Grab a screenshot. Great call today, guys.
Muy buena llamada el día de hoy. Muy contento de haber estado aquí con todos ustedes.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day, and go share Zalise and Ultracell with someone. Thanks again.
Thank you, Steven.
Salgan a compartir esta grandiosa oportunidad con todos aquellos que ustedes conozcan. Cuídense mucho. Un gran abrazo. Chao, chao.